the evening off with a little update from Mr. McDonald of the Parks Department in general and the Arbor Daze specifically.
Thank you, Mr. King. Well, I wanted to update on our most recent event that we had, Arbor Daze, a couple weekends ago. I saw most of you there. We had a great year, great weather. As it turned out, there was a little bit of a scare there on Saturday night, Sunday morning, but it all passed by. John and I were just talking about the crowds, and it's so hard to gauge, but I think the crowd was probably bigger than it has been since we moved back to this site. At times, I even questioned that myself because it seemed kind of thin, but then I was reminded how spread out we were. So from the library, all the way to the concessionaires, all of the vendors. In fact, Mr. Kamey told me that one of the vendors told him it was the best year that they've ever had at Arbor Daze, one of the concessions. So I take that as a very successful year. So we added some new attractions this year, as I'm sure you were aware of. We added the kid carnival area. We absolutely learned one very important lesson, and that is not to have one person selling wristbands in the carnival area in Euless, Texas, because nobody could find them for one thing, and then when they did, they were just swarmed with people. So next year we'll make sure to have a ticket booth out there and sell the wristbands out front where everybody can see them. But I think everybody had a great time over there. It was a great addition to Arbor Daze. Kind of brought back what it used to be, a great feel, for the kids, gave everybody a chance to go over, and very affordable to ride the rides, $5 all you can ride all day long. So the carnival vendor was very happy. We were very happy with the product that he brought us, so we'll absolutely bring this back again next year. And as you can see, the common theme through most of these pictures you'll see are just the smiles on people's faces. And that's exactly the reason why we wanted to bring it back like we did to City Hall, and kind of a more community feel, grassroots festival. See your friends and neighbors, and as you can see there, they're making the most of it. We brought a petting zoo in this year as well. Very well received. The same company that we use at Heritage Park, I have a great relationship with them. In fact, going all the way back to the old Arbor Daze, to the old site, the same folks used to provide the petting zoo for us over there. So it was great to have them back. They were very appreciative to be back. And as you can see, the kiddos had a great time over there. Forestry Village is always a huge hit. I think the tree cookies, that and the tile art from Home Depot are probably the two biggest hits as far as what the kids love to do and what they look so forward to each year at Arbor Daze. You see those tree cookies worn around almost every kid's neck out there. It's such a simple idea, but it goes a long way. Of course, the tree giveaway, and then we brought back a plant sale this year on the top left, which was successful for the Trinity baseball team. The most popular feature at Arbor Daze by far this year were the bare hollow wood carvers. It is absolutely amazing, and hopefully you got a chance to stand and watch. It took about an hour per show, but if you had time to stand and watch, amazing that they can take what's shown there and turn it into that. Those guys are absolutely amazing. Great to work with. Great guys. We're very thankful for the opportunity to come to Euless. Very complimentary of how we did things in Euless and how friendly the people were here. They absolutely want to come back next year, and we would love to have them back next year. Kids Zone, again, always a huge hit. We did some things a little differently this year. We took a lot of the games out, but no one really asked about the games because we had so many other activities going on in there. Of course, the tile art in the bottom right, sponsored by Home Depot, and has been for the last several years. Always a big hit. Face painting, all the entertainment that they have in the Kids Zone. A really fun area for the kids. And that's what really makes out the Arbor Daze so special, is that you can bring the family out and you can have a great time that costs you absolutely nothing or next to nothing. The Tongan Tin. very, very well received this year. There were crowds in there that I was shocked by the crowds that I saw in Tomlington. I wish I could have Mary come one day and give you her side of, or her story of how successful this was for them. And it's a great story to be told, and it's a great story to hear. And as you can see, they had a great time. They really appreciated the opportunity to tell their story to the citizens of Euless and to the visitors of Euless. And we look forward to hopefully even expanding this a little bit next year. I didn't put the pictures in here, but there are several that I'll save for another day of Mary performing or trying to perform on stage. They were pretty humorous, but as I said, I'll absolutely save those for another time. We had something for everybody. You saw the kids' carnival in the earlier slides. We had plenty for the kind of the tweeners to do. I think they had a great time with what we had out there for them, the zip line, the rock wall, the bouncing, 2 different types of bouncy things, whatever you call them. But the lines, you know, they got a little long, but they would on a free ride. So it's a good problem to have. The rock wall, we could find a better location for than what we had this year, and we will look for a better location next year. But all in all, I think it was a great attraction. One of the most popular areas that not a lot of people knew about, because it went so quick, was this was what was left over from the best chocolate cake at Euless contest that we had at the Senior Center the day before. Diane brought them out there and sold the slices for $1. And I'll tell you this one right here, that won. That was the winner, and believe it or not, I think she's an 11-year-old girl baked that cake.
Our first try, too.
Yeah.
Which one was second place?
Doesn't matter. They could all be first place. They were all unbelievably good. And I think some other folks in the room could attest. I know Mike was one of our judges.
I think the dark chocolate one immediately below that was the second place one. And the first place was brought in warm.
That's what made it win.
One of the most popular events at the Senior Center, and you obviously can see why. We'll make sure we get the email out next year when we're looking for judges. Now that you've seen the picture, you might get people a little more anxious to do that. All in all, as you can see in the pictures here, great crowds. We had really no issues to speak of. The people had a great time. The lines at the concessionaires constantly looked like that in the bottom left and the top left. I think just Arbor Daze accomplished exactly what we all hoped that it would, and that is just to promote the city and have a great event for the community and promote what this city is all about. So, any questions or any comments, suggestions, anything from those of you who were there?
You missed the ice cream, Dan. Ice cream.
Well,
He was good.
he is, and we had Rita's because they have tried so many years to get into Arbor Daze, and they're right across the street. And they're such a great partner, do a lot of community events, so we traded out this year with Rita's. So.
And I had more questions about where the chocolate cakes were than anything else.
Well, they were over there by where we all sit.
Yeah. I should have thought of that.
Under the shade tree.
Ray, congratulations to you and your staff. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
There were so
yes.
many things. I mean, I heard so many compliments from so many families that this was the most free kids activities they had ever seen, and they loved it. And having those the climbing walkings for that age group was terrific, because those kids are probably kind of older for the cookie kit, the craft things, but they loved being able to stand in line and go on that go to the rides. Congratulations.
Zip line this year, too.
And I like to thank the library, Sherry and her staff, and they did a fantastic job as well. I know they had great crowds at the library. I didn't get a chance to go down there, but I heard lots of great comments about that. Sherry, thank you. Mr. McCamey asked us to update you all on our department as a whole and kind of our staff and what our mission is and what our vision is kind of for the future. So I just, for those of you who are new and those of you who love to be reminded about our Parks Department, this is for you. These are the employees in the Parks Department. We have obviously Terry Boaz, our superintendent, Dan Dearborn. Go down the line, we've got mainly field techs, we have an equipment operator, but I think what's most impressive is the numbers on the right when you look at the years of service. We've got lots of guys who have been here a long time. Kerry Stevenson leading the pack. I don't see Kerry leaving anytime soon, even after 31 years. And Kerry worked here for 30 years before he even used his first sick day. So we've got a lot of great employees that do a lot of great things in the Parks Department. We've got 17 parks or facilities, a total of 345 acres of parkland in the city of Euless. You can find this in the playbook that will show you where they all are around town. Like I say, over 350 acres of parks, 22 facility acres, that's City Hall, fire stations, our building, Kyle's building, other areas in the city that we help maintain. 58 acres of right-of-way, over 100 medians, 72,000 feet of landscape bed maintenance, greenhouses, 14 athletic fields, playgrounds, tennis courts, volleyball courts, trash collection 2 times a week. There's 312 trash cans in our Parks Department, guys, and it's a 2-man crew that empties every one of those out twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, depending on how busy, like a 4th of July weekend, Memorial Day weekend, we'll send them in an extra time to do that. So that's a lot of trash. We have 8 pavilions that we maintain, 4 gazebos, 22 outdoor exercise stations, water fountains, grills, tables, swing sets. We empty out the dog waste stations as well on trash days. Over 7 miles of trail, all of our irrigation and all of our parks and all the facilities, tree maintenance and special projects like Arbor Daze.
Little ones.
On the recreation side, Suzanne is our recreation manager. She's been back only a little over a year, but she's got 23 years in the profession. Jerry Poteet's our volunteer coordinator with 22, Diane Eggers with 21. Robbie runs the rec center and all our programs. Callie's with aquatics. Jeff Town, you all know, is our graphic artist. Renee, we just hired at our senior center as our coordinator. Of course, Mary does a little bit of everything. And Jordan, if you haven't met her, hopefully you did at Arbor Daze. She was over the business 10, but she's fairly new as the admin secretary. So the recreation responsibilities are at our senior center, all the programs, everything that happens at the senior center, the rec center. You can see the attendance numbers there. Well over 200,000 visit the Family Life Center in a year. We had almost 10,000 people participate in some kind of a program or class that we offer over there. We do 14 special events. This year is actually more. That was in 2013 with 506 volunteers, over 1,400 volunteer hours. 43,000 people visited our aquatic facilities last summer. We did 141 pool rentals, 148 rentals at the Simmons Center, 51 at the Family Life Center, 223 pavilion rentals, 12 gazebo, 207 field rentals. We produce the playbook quarterly. We assist with the Euless Today. That's not monthly, that's actually, oh, it's monthly, okay. Fall banner marketing program, which doesn't look so good right now after the last couple of days with all the high winds and weather. We know there's a lot of banners dangling on poles, and we're trying to get out and work on those as quick as we can. We work with the Historical Preservation Committee, the Heritage Park, the museum, open house, all of our special event signs, banners, all of our t-shirts that we do in our department, all the pool maintenance and the splash pad maintenance. And on the athletic side, we've got Softball World, Parks of Texas Star, and then our general athletic programs. Chris Thames is the manager. We've got John Douthit, who runs the Parks of Texas Star. Sandy Purcell helps them both out, doing a lot of administrative work. And Larry Cook is our maintenance lead man. At Softball World, last year we had nearly 2,000 league teams register, 573 tournament teams, 142 at the park, 754 tournament teams, schedule over 10,000 games. That's 10,000 games being played between the Parks of Texas Star and softball world. We've got 24 teams last year in flag football. We do adult basketball, 130 kids in our summer track program. Huge successful program. If you heard anything about that summer track program, we run probably the most successful summer track program of any city in the state of Texas. We facilitate for BESA with nearly 1,000 kids participating. We're the liaison to the Dr. Pepper Star Center, at 3 concession operations and the batting cages.
So what do you do about your
Community
downtime?
services. Whatever Mr. Kenny asks me.